So today, we're running a knife to meet you build. This skill boosts our weapon damage by 50%. But we are only using 2 daggers, our trusty hammer for stuns, and a pumpkin that also stuns our opponents too. But will it be enough to reach round 18? Let's find out. Okay, let's go and jump some rank games with a random character and see what we're gonna get today. So it looks like we're playing the PYROMANCER. We do start off with a fanfare and a offering ball with a shiny shell too. Now, kind of insane getting a goobert on sale. I do want to grab, I also want to grab the frying pan for a weapon. Actually, frying pan is going to be quite tough to fit in. I'm going to take the walrus tusk. I'm going to roll here. Again, another tough weapon to actually fit in. But we got to take here. I also want the whetstone too. So the fanfare is worth 7 golds. With the broom, that's 11 golds. And with the whetstone, that's 15 gold. So we could potentially get something as early as a katana. Thornbloom, if we're super lucky, we can also get ourselves a prismatic orb, which is even crazier. So as much as I love to keep our whetstone, I think I'm going to offer up all this stuff here. Now this is going to be round 1, which is a little bit mad here. Is it going to be enough to win out? We'll see. Because our fanfare is triggering every 2.7 seconds and our broom is triggering every 1.7. Will we have enough time to activate our goobert here to keep us healthy? Can we deal some damage? Luckily enough, we got some power for our weapons. And you know what? Amazing. Not too bad. Now, what sort of craziness are we going to get? Okay, not exactly what I'm looking for. A cap is really bad early on. Yeah, we got super unlucky. I'm going to grab healing herbs here. I'd love to grab these items. I'm going to grab the garlic. We're going to roll once. And we have to grab a weapon here. Otherwise, we're kind of screwed. So I'm going to sell you to grab you. And unfortunately for this round, I'm going to be offering up our cap. That's literally going to be it. We're going to get our gloves. We're going to craft up claws attack. Next rounds, I'd love to craft up this rounds, but unfortunately, we're going to have to move on. So yeah, we got extremely unlucky by grabbing a cap. It is going to reduce a decent bit of damage here, but literally 35 or 25% damage reduction on 5 damage is just 1 less damage. It's much, much better later on, but really, really bad early on. Our opponent is going to be surviving for quite some time with their healing herbs. They're going to try to out-survive us here by inflicting a bunch of blinds. So we'll see, because our Amative Alchemy actually gave us some spikes here, and some regen, and a little bit of luck. It actually didn't give us any regen. Our healing herbs gave us regen. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to win out, so we do end up falling short. That's kind of what I expected, to be honest. We got an Amulet Life, which is even more amazing. I'm going to be grabbing this for now. And I do want to grab our gloves too. I do want to be crafting up that claws attack. Now I'm actually going to have to sell 2 flames here. So we can grab even more storage so we can place our amulets in as well. Now we're probably going to have a high chance to lose this round once again. Since our only weapon damage is going to be a wooden sword. We put a lot on the line in that first round. And it really didn't pay off. But we got 2 amulets right now. Those give us some buffs. We got an extra power, which is awesome. We got some spikes, which is even more awesome. But that is a shell totem with some lifesteal. Yeah, this opponent is going to be stacking up a lot of power. Also, Amulet Feasting with food items is crazy early. This opponent hit the nuts, to be honest. And if we beat him, I would be crazily surprised. Unfortunately, yeah, we have no chance against that opponent. It is what it is, but we've got our claws attack, which is even more awesome right now. We should be in a really, really good spot with our claws attack. Now we did get a knife to meet you on sale. We could end up going for hammer dagger type builds with the PYROMANCER. It does seem kind of fun. We could also take double rainbow for a lot of buffs if we grab a bunch of health pots, mana pots. That could be crazy. We can also take enchanted weapons with our claws attack. But I think I'm going to take knife to meet you here. I'm going to grab the storage. I kind of want to grab a whetstone here. Once I'm going to, I'm also going to grab a second garlic. I'm going to roll once here. And I do want to grab a flame too. But for this round, I'm not going to be offering up anything. You could actually take the broom and offer that up in the next rounds. I'm kind of down for it. I want to be grabbing as much items on sale. We should be in a much, much better spot with our claws attack. Can we survive for 11.5 seconds here to get that increased damage? We'll see. If you do survive for long enough, and holy moly, that's a freaking cubert with an insane amount of power. Their weapons are going to be dealing some big, big damage. They got a pineapple as well. Yeah, we're facing some crazy opponents early on. And we still won. Holy moly, that's madness. And how many times are we going to say, holy moly? Another thing is I might actually craft up steel goobert here. Let's grab our broom. I'm going to grab even more storage here. I'm spending a lot on storage. I will roll once. And I'm kind of looking for an item on sale to be offered up with a broom. So I'm going to roll again. That's a dagger with some lifesteal, which is madness. We could also go for a chili goobert here, which will be a lot of stacking heat if we're going to go for burning daggers. But I really want to go for a lifesteal and dagger more than anything. But am I really going to take another wooden sword here to offer up? It is 3 golds. Would be kind of nice. Unfortunately, I really want to keep all these items, because I do want to craft up a strong hell pot with elements of alchemy. I want to keep a stone to potentially go for some strong stone skin pots. So unfortunately, do we just offer up a broom or do we hold on to it for now? I think we just hold on to it for now, or am I crazy? We could take the wooden sword, but we are going to be running out of stamina like there's no tomorrow. But it is 7 gold. You know what? We're going to do something a little bit dumb. We're going to get a lot of damage, but we're going to be running out of stamina like there's no tomorrow. And yeah, I'm going to be moving on. We're going to get a steel gooberts. We're going to get a vampiric dagger. And we're hopefully going to get another amulet. Now we are going to be getting opponents with another amulet feasting, with a pineapple, with stacking spikes, and a turnip here. Now after dealing some big damage to our opponents, our stamina has run out. But is it enough to actually win out here? Potentially. And amazing, actually. Did not expect to win our rounds. It is what it is, but hell yeah. What do we get right now? We just got ourselves a chili pepper and a flame here. And a stone. Now the question is, do we want to go for a chili goobert as well as a steel goobert? Well, to be honest, I'm going to be grabbing this hammer. That is something that is literally going to happen. We do want to grab our dagger though. And we do want to craft up a vampiric dagger instead of a molten dagger here. Now the thing is, we could be offering up our claws attack with a chili pepper. Also, we could take a pumpkin here for chance of stun as well. Maybe we want to actually take a chili gooberts with a hammer and a pumpkin. Is that mad? Potentially. And you know what? I'm going to be offering up our claws. I'm going to be moving on with this round. We could have also sold the flame to actually get our chili goobert online. But with one dagger here, we should have a lot more damage. Or we should be able to get our knife to meet you online a little bit faster. Once you get a vampiric dagger, we should be able to get a lot more lifesteal as well. So it should be awesome. We're also scaling up the damage on this dagger. It's doing 14 to 18 damage. It's doing more damage than an axe, which is crazy. It does have a bit of a long cooldown though, but it's not looking too bad. We also got 4 in power, which is also mad. And hell yeah, not too bad. Okay, Divine Pot I kind of want to get rid of. We could go for wing boots, but we really need our hammer right now. Now I'm also going to grab our gooberts. And yeah, we're going to be crafting up that chili gooberts. And do you want to be offering up this Divine Pot too? We might actually want to offer up our Elements of Alchemy here. I'm thinking strongly about doing that. I'm going to sell a regen here and 1 flame. I'm going to grab ourselves another chili. And yeah, I'm going to be moving on. I want a super fast pumpkin to be stunning our opponents, scaling up the damage on our dagger here as well. So we'll see how we get on with this. Can we keep up with another hammer dagger builds with false life? Potentially. They're going to get a lot of healing. They're going to be slowing us down by quite a bit, but we got an insane amount of vampirism. And we got a lot of damage with knife to meet you. So you know what? Yeah, it's not looking too bad for us. That's for sure. We could end up going for an actual rainbow goobert here as well. But not too bad. We get our subclass, and now we do have a choice to make. Well, first of all, we got ourselves a Jin's Lamp here. Now, it kind of wants us to go with Dark Lantern here. We could take it. It does give us time to scale up our damage. It's probably going to be worth it. Friendly Fire does stack up our heats. But I think we're going to take Dark Lantern anyway. Now, do you want to grab our storage here? I do want to grab our pumpkin. I also want to grab ourselves a set of blueberries. And I want to roll once here. You're going to be mana generation if we wanted as well. Now, I want a lot of storage here. Insane amount of storage. We do need some dark items too. But I'm going to sell a stone here. And a flame. And 1 more flame to grab ourselves this fanny pack. And the problem with our pumpkin right now is it's a little bit tough to fit it in beside our food items. So think about doing something like this. The more food items we have around it, the faster it actually gets. And we want this as fast as possible, so we can stun our opponent as fast as possible. The only thing is, we need more than one dagger. We really, really, really need more daggers, to be honest. But Chainsaw Lamp is going to be a nice activator here. We could actually offer it up for 11 golds, but it is going to be super fast activator for our Chili Goober, so we can stack up our heats. Also scaling up the damage on our Steel Goober here, which isn't going to be too bad. But can we actually keep up with his opponents? We do get a Resurrection, we do get a Vulnerability, and Amazing. Dark Lantern, Hammer Dagger action, not too bad. I'm going to grab our storage, and we're going to grab ourselves a Corrupted Crystal here, because you are going to be a dark item, inflicting a bunch of debuffs. I did want to keep our flames here, but I'm going to have to sell a 2-roll. And yeah, we're not finding a single extra dagger, which is a little bit mad here. I'm probably going to grab this leather bag. I'm going to move on once again, and we'll see. Double Hunger Blade with the Burning Banner means pretty much infinite Vampirism skill. Along with a Heart Container as well. Yeah, they're going to get a crap ton of Vampirism. But we do survive till our Knife to Meet You goes off, so we should be able to deal some big damage. We're scaling up our damage. We do resurrect though. They don't get lifesteal when we resurrect, but now they're going to get some lifesteal. And unfortunately, yeah, it's just way too much for us to handle right now. And we do get double rainbow here. We could take it. Try to stack up a bunch of buffs. Shielded is nice if we grab ourselves a Sun Shield here, especially with Steel Goober. It does give us a lot more time to scale up. I'm kind of down for him. Now I'm going to grab this. We could grab gloves here. Now going to though. We're going to grab on sale. I kind of want to grab here. I want to grab it so I can offer that up. And I need to grab more Vampirism, that's for sure. But we took a skill that doesn't really help us right now, so that could be problematic for sure. And we could also, actually, we have 2 items we do need to craft up a Rainbow Goober there. But we'll see. Can we keep up with his opponents? Mr. Struggles, they're going to be removing some of our buffs. They're going to make their lightsaber and their Shelly go a lot faster, and unfortunately they inflicted so much blind on us that we can't actually hit our opponents. We have 40% accuracy, 55% accuracy. Yeah, it's not looking too great for us. Although we almost started to bring it back. What do we get? Okay, Stone Skin Pot is exactly what I'm looking for. We do need some block generation though. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab more storage. I'm going to roll once here. And we have to grab Sun Shield here. Yeah, we quite literally have to grab our Sun Shield here. I'm going to be crafting up this strong Stone Skin Pot, but it might be too late. We are going to begin a Katana, which is going to move all the scaling damage we do get from Steel Goober, which is super unfortunate. They got a Stone Golem online right now as well, which is crazy absurd at this point of the game. They do have the Holy Armor though, which is going to give him a crap ton of generation. And yeah, we are in a pretty tough spot here. Let's grab our shields. Let's grab the storage. Let's grab our flame. So unfortunately, we do need our Sun Shield to prevent a lot of damage. Only finding 1 dagger here is probably, yeah, not our best bet here. Can we actually keep up? We'll see. Another Katana type builds with a chin up and some crits. We could be in big trouble here. They're going to be removing all our buffs here. They're going to be reducing all our scaling damage, so our dagger isn't going to be doing as much damage as I'd like to. But with our shields, we do eat up a lot of their stamina, which is going to be pretty good for us. And will it pay off? Because it does activate our Gooberts here, and once we get our Sun Shields, we should be able to activate our Goobert even faster. I know it's not looking too bad here, actually. And kind of amazing. Awesome even. Now, holy moly, we got ourselves another dagger. That's nuts. That's genuinely nuts. Hell yeah. I'm going to roll again. And if we weren't on 1 life, yeah, I would actually go for Rainbow Goobert here. But let's take this fanny pack for now. Now, if we want more heals, we do want a Bloody Dagger in this position. But if we want a faster Knife to Meet You, we want it in here. That 20% extra speed at the very beginning is going to be a hell of a lot better for us. But I do want that extra bit of healed. With our Sun Shield, we should be able to block some range damage as well. Do some more chip damage with our Steel Gooberts. And yeah, that should be much better for us. So I'm going to roll here. You know what? I do want to grab ourselves a Cell Blueberries because that is going to increase the speed on our pumpkin. I'm going to roll again. And we are lacking a big old banana here. So I'm going to sell a flame to grab it. And I'm going to have to figure out how the frick we're going to fit this in. Now I think I'm actually going to move on with this. We could have used our lamp on our hammer, but I think I prefer having it this way. Lamp being a trigger for Chili Goobert with our Steel Goobert, with our Sun Shield being an activator for both Gooberts as well. Now it does kind of rely on our opponent using multiple weapons to be triggering these, but I think it's still going to be good enough between these two Gooberts. And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to be moving on with this for now. We should have a faster pumpkin, that's for sure. And we'll see. It is every 3 seconds. It is still quite long here. But as long as we keep stacking up our heats, we have the potential to keep stunning our opponent as well. And we'll see. With a second dagger in, we should have increased our damage quite significantly here. We should be able to stun our opponent quite often and get a bunch of lifesteal. And you know what? It's not looking too bad here. We do eat up a lot of our opponent's stamina with that Sun Shield, that's for sure, especially since we have shielded as well. And you know what? Amazing. Genuinely amazing. Now, unfortunately, I did end up getting rid of her banana by accident with the offering bowl. Yeah, there goes a lot of her stamina. Well, it is what it is. Let's grab our potion builds. I'm going to grab this cap. I'm going to roll once here. And we could grab our prismatic orb here for an insane amount of lifesteal. I mean, vampirism. But I'm not going to. I'm going to keep rolling. You're going to be another dark item. You are going to be more lifesteal. I'm not sure if we even want the dark item here. But I wouldn't mind crafting up a cap of discomfort here for some healing reduction. Which means I do kind of want to craft a second one. Not going to lie. I'm actually getting rid of this banana. It wasn't a smart play. It does slow down our pumpkin, which is not so great. Now, one thing we could actually do, instead of grabbing this, is take a second Sun Shield here. Which means I'm going to be offering up our pocket sands. I'm going to be taking the storage. And I might actually take this corrupted crystal still. Yeah, I'm going to venture on with this. I'm going to craft up a second Sun Shield that we can block even more damage as well. Because we're going to be blocking damage on a Tusk Poker, going to be blocking damage on a Stone Golem. They are going to have time melting, so they have the potential to stun us quite often. And I would love to grab this too. But we can stun them quite often with our pumpkin, with our hammer, potentially as well. Now they're starting to deal some big damage too. But can we keep up? We got lots of vampirism. Unfortunately, without the banana, we are running out of stamina really fast here. But it's not looking too bad. We are going to resurrect. We do inflict some debuffs. We should be able to lifesteal back up a little bit. And hell yeah, it's not too bad. Genuinely not too bad. Now I'm going to take our second shield here. Going to take our second shield so we have the potential to completely shut off our opponent from dealing damage and just eating up an insane amount of stamina. Also, yeah, I had my Dark Lantern backwards. Yeah, we probably don't deserve to win this one. That's for sure. But I am going to venture on with this for now. Double Bloody Daggers should be pretty decent. I'm going to be taking our Vampiric Bloody Hammer in the next ones. And we are going to begin a Thorn Bloom. They're going to be stacking up a lot of heats. Can we take away all their stamina here? Because if we take away their stamina, they can't stack up. Their spikes are their power here. But they're going to be going super fast. They're going to have a ton of max life, which is going to be problematic for sure. They're going to be dealing some big damage. Lots of spikes means we're going to be doing a lot of damage to ourselves, but hell yeah. Not too bad once again. Now we do want to end up with a 45 DPS, which is not crazy by any means. Bloody Daggers dealing the vast majority of it with our hammer and our pumpkin as well. As for heals, we only have 35 healing per second with 20 max life gains, and as for block, we do end up with 10 block per second. So it's not too bad here. We probably should take our points and run, but yeah, I'm going to be continuing on with this for now. Double Sun Shields. Honestly, shielded with Sun Shields is crazy insane. I'm going to grab this. I also want to grab you too. I'm going to roll again. You're going to be another dark item. And the thing is, we really want our setup to be like this. The reason being is we can get a lot more heals on our Bloody Daggers by having this Bloody Amulet in between both of them. Does mean we aren't going to have one slot available for our Steel Gooberts, which I think we're still going to actually have to move on with this sort of setup. And I'm also tempted to grab a Dragon Garb, that way we could actually get some spikes away from us, but I'm not going to take it. I'm going to keep rolling here, and what we're taking on instead for 6 is Madness. That is one item we are gonna grab 150,000% because the more heat we stack up, the more buffs we stack up, the more stamina shouldn't be a problem. We'll see if this is gonna be good enough. We'll see, because our opponent is gonna be turbo stacking a bunch of mana. And especially with double rainbow, they're gonna get an insane amount of buffs as well. They're gonna be stealing a lot of our buffs with Mr. Struggles. And yeah, there goes all our buffs. Literally. But we do got double sun shields to heat up all our stamina, which is crazy, blocking a lot of their damage as well, and we just keep stunning them with our daggers. And hell yeah, not too bad. Awesome even. I do want to grab good old Wubbertinger. Potion belt is not the storage I'm looking for. Don't really want any of these items, so I'm going to keep moving for now. And I'm going to grab another garlic as I roll again. Now unfortunately, it is only offering us potion belts, so I'm going to have to take it here. So unfortunately, did have to move our setup around just a little bit, so we lose one garlic on our pumpkin here. But in order to get the debuffs inflicted from a Dark Lantern, we kind of need to end up position. Maybe we don't actually need that though, inflicting those debuffs. We kind of want a faster pumpkin more than anything. So maybe inflicting debuffs, we kind of want our pumpkin to be going at even just a small bit faster with a garlic here. Now honestly, I'd rather have her Ambient Life in it rather than inflicting fatigue damage, so we could end up just increasing the damage on our weapon. Maybe that Corrupted Crystal isn't too worth here. Now I'm going to roll once more. I think I'm going to sell a garlic. We could go for a second Wubbertinger. I'm going to roll again. And the fanny pack is exactly the storage I was kind of looking for, but we didn't actually get it. We're going to take an next rounds, but I'm going to be moving on. So good old Wubbertinger is going to be really, really awesome here. Now our opponent is going to be inflicting a crap ton of debuffs. So they're going to have an insane amount of block. And we could be one shot here. Potentially. We do resurrect though. Giving us time to heal back up. That's a lot of poison though. And that Dark Saber is going to be dealing some insane damage. And unfortunately, yeah, we just can't lifesteal back up that damage. And we are very, very susceptible to big, massive damage weapons. We really need to go up again lower hit weapons with Sun Shield. So that opponent does counter us quite significantly. Well, let's take our fanny back. I'm going to roll. Do we want to Pineapple for some spike stacking? I'm not sure if we do. I kind of want to keep moving for now. And yeah, I want to roll once more. That is going to be another Corrupted Crystal. I also want to grab ourselves more fanny packs here. Let's replace these food items or this storage for now. For pumpkin. I'm going to keep moving. Now another Capitalist Comfort would have been awesome here if it was last rounds. I would gladly take it, but I'm going to keep moving once again. And there's the banana that we did end up losing out on. I'm not sure if we need it. I'm going to roll once more. I'm going to sell our storage once more. And a chili pepper on sale for 3 would have been awesome. As well as a Phoenix here. But yeah, this is going to be our final builds. The more daggers we had, the better it was going to be. But unfortunately, we only managed to get 2 daggers. And we brought it quite far actually. Which is kind of awesome. Also, we have a strong stone skin pot that doesn't really do too much for us, to be quite honest. So I'm thinking about selling it here. Grabbing ourselves another chili so we get some more stacking heats. And I'm going to sell it here. Let's take our chili. Let's take or sell that stone so we can grab this fanny pack for now as well. And I would really like to increase the speed on our pumpkin even more, but unfortunately we are going to have to move on with this for now. Now, is this going to be good enough? We'll have to see. Can we win out with double sun shields shielded? You know what? Going to begin a dagger type builds with brass knuckles. Yeah, might actually pay off. He's going to be blocking a lot of damage. He's going to be triggering Steel Goober quite often here. We should be able to stack up our damage insanely fast. And stack up a bunch of heat and get our pumpkin to deal some potentially big damage here. Our opponents will have a lot of skilling damage though. But yeah, we should counter this opponent really, really awesomely here. Our Knife to Meet You should trigger at 6 seconds, giving us a lot more damage as well. And these bloody daggers are dealing 24 damage per hit. We only got 10 heat stacked up, which is not insane by any means. Our pumpkin is triggering every 2.5 seconds. And you know what? Yes, not looking too bad here. The opponent hasn't even broke through our armor, and amazing. Genuinely amazing. However, we did counter this opponent really, really awesomely. We only had a 43 DPS, which is not insane by any means. We definitely could have improved it. And we did end up actually blocking 22 DPS per second, which is crazy. Dropping our opponent's damage down to 7 per second. It definitely would have been higher as well because we had up a lot of stamina. Now as for heals, we actually end up with about a 30 healing per second, which is not even that crazy either. And as for block, we do end up with about 183 block. So overall, not a super bad build, and the one way we do improve it is by adding in a bunch of daggers. But anyways, we did survive 1 life left. Let's go to see just how much rank points we managed to get. Plus 17, ranking us back up to Masters once again. But anyways, I'm going to leave you here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even subscribing. And I'll keep looking for the next one. I'll see you next time. Okay, we're back in history and we're going to see can we deal with some other builds. We are going to begin a crossblades with a piercing arrow. Again, we're going to be eating up all their stamina. They do have a lot of stamina though with stamina stacks, but yeah, it's pretty much gone. Make it a lot harder for that crossblades to scale up the damage. That's for sure. We're actually running out of stamina too since they have a moon shield. But hell yeah, not too bad. Okay, can we deal with a cursed dagger, serpent staff, snow stick type opponent? This could be troublesome because they are inflicting quite a few debuffs on us. Making us miss could be super problematic here. And they do got some invulnerability with that golden crown. They got a lot of debuffs stacked up on us, which means that serpent staff is going to have some crits. They're going to be dealing some big damage. But we do block a lot of that damage with our sun shields. But it's a lot of debuffs stacked up on us. Can we keep up? They're making us go super slow. And you know what? It's not looking too bad because we're going to get a resurrection. And we didn't even have to. Not too bad. And finally, can we take on this hammer dagger build action with another dark lantern? With a sun shields and a sun armor. They're going to have a lot of damage with this shepherd's crux too. They would have had a lot of scaling damage with the molten daggers. Which is one set of daggers we could have actually went for. But we'll see. Can we keep up with this buns? With double sun shields, we do block a lot of damage, especially with the shielded as well. Yeah, it's not even going to be close here. To be honest, we do make him resurrect. That's a lot of poison stacked up from the poison dagger, but hell yeah, not too bad.